Hey everybody, this is TJ back again. I thought I'd do a video on a Dodge Ram 4500 and 5500. I just barely did motor mounts on this truck, and I wanted to give some tips and tricks that I've learned doing these motor mounts that would help me in the future. And so I thought I'd just put it on and see if it would help anybody else. This is a truck I'm working on. Like I said, it's a Dodge Ram 4500. I've already done the motor mounts on this, but I thought I'd just get under here and show you what I found out. So if you can tell right here, that nut right there is a bolt that goes through the motor mount. And so before you lift this up or do anything, get an 18 millimeter deep socket and take that nut off, because then you won't have to hold the other side. It has the weight on it. And then after you take that off, I used a floor jack, and I just went right here to the front of the oil pan. You can see right there, those bolts right there. I just went with a 2x4 up to those bolts, down to a floor jack. And I know that's not the safest way to do it, but it worked pretty good for me. It held in place. The 2x4 goes, those bolts, the heads go down into the 2x4, so it holds it in place. I just made sure my 2x4 was good and straight. And you have to lift this up about as high as you can get it without starting to lift the truck in order to get that motor mount out. Once you get that up in the air, you can push that bolt out with your fingers. And then if you can see, it's kind of hard to tell on my video, but there's that bolt right there. There's 4 of those on this motor mount. And there's 2 on the front side and 2 on the back. And the way I got those out is I actually came right through the wheel well. And I used, I took my plastic wheel well out right here. And there's just some 8 millimeter bolts, if you can tell right here, that go around and hook to your fender flare. So I got those, I took this plastic piece out right here. And then you can go right in through this hole right here with a wobbly and quite a few sockets. And I had an impact on it, impact gun, and I was able to get them all out from this position. Once you get those out and you've got it jacked up in the air and you got your other bolt out, your long bolt that goes through the mount, I took the mount out the front, like towards the front of the engine on this side. This is the passenger side. And that ended up working way better than trying to go out the back. And so that one has a heat shield on it as well. That out with that heat shield on is pretty tough, but I kind of had to bend the heat shield a little bit, and then I was able to come right out through the front. It's kind of a, you kind of just move and work it out. It takes a little bit of time, but it does come out of there. And then putting the new one in, my Napa one that I got actually had a smaller heat shield, so that helped me out a lot to get the new one in it. On the driver's side, I'm going to just show you one thing that I took off that helped me. One thing, going back in though, you definitely want to get your motor mount up in place, and then you want to tighten those. It's a 15 millimeter socket on those 4 bolts that hold the mount to the engine. Tighten those really good. Some guys that I've listened to even had a little bit of Loctite. I'd use blue. I wouldn't use red, but some blue Loctite on them. And then I tightened those up, and then I put my bolt back through my motor mount, and then I let it down, and then I was able to put my nut on, and it'll suck right down without even have to hold the head. And so on the driver's side, I'll show you what helped me to take. So that's the head of your motor mount bolt right there on the driver's side. And so that's what you want to pull out after you get it up in the air. And then on this side, if you can see that bolt right there, right there, that's one of your motor mount bolts that bolt to your engine. When I took this side out, the driver's side, I brought it out right through this hole, and it helped me a lot to take this bracket off right here that holds your shift cable. That bracket, if you'll take that off, it's a 13 millimeter right here. Take that off, and I was able to get that motor mount out right through this hole right here. And then going back in, it actually went in really good. But it's, again, you have to move your jack to the other side of your engine block, of your pan, and jack it up on the driver's side, and it helps you a lot. And then I was able to get it in, then tighten your 4 bolts onto your engine, then put this bolt back in, and then let it down. It's just slotted, so it just slides right down in. And then after you get that down in, then put your nut on the other side and tighten it up. Those are just some of the tips and tricks that I've learned on these trucks. I'm just going to start doing a few videos. And so I thought I'd just give you this video as kind of a tip and trick. So hopefully it helps somebody. Have a good day.